Is time running out for Erik Ten Hag? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around this man right here, Erik Ten Hag, the current manager, head coach of Manchester United. Is he on borrowed time after yesterday's embarrassing and humiliating 3-0 defeat at the hands of Tottenham? He may as well be, and he probably should be, and he probably should actually be gone as we speak, or should be at least going as we speak, in accordance and apparently to a lot of Manchester United fans. Yesterday was a dreadful day for Manchester United. Tottenham ran riot in those two teams' game, in which goals from the likes of Brennan Johnson, Dejan Kulusevski and Dominic Solanke helped Spurs to an incredible 3-0 victory against Erik Ten Hag's side. And it's safe to say the response from the United fans wasn't exactly, oh well, at least we tried. It was same, different day. We're going to be talking about Erik Ten Hag. We're going to be talking about Manchester United. We're going to be talking about whether Erik Ten Hag in, Ten Hag out, and everything else in between. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things always and forever greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section as well. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. I'll make for great and interesting reading, I'm sure, down below. Please do get involved down there, people. I would love to know your what you have to say on this particular topic. It is a very interesting and very divisive one, so would love to know what you guys have to say on this Erik Ten Hag Manchester United situation. And as always, thank you for your continued or even brand new support. It is very much appreciated and amazing as always. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Manchester United and Erik Ten Hag. Now, first and foremost, I want to give a word on Tottenham, because a lot will be made of Manchester United and a lot will be made of Erik Ten Hag. But it's safe to say that Spurs might not get the kind of attention and spotlight that they deserve, with it obviously being against Manchester United, but they deserve it. They were brilliant yesterday, it has to be said. They played their game plan to absolute perfection. Yes, a little bit of it was down to United being so poor, but a major part of the reason why they were made to look so poor is because Tottenham were brilliant. And there were some brilliant individual performances right the way across the pitch from Spurs that made them look incredible. Mickey van der Ven just continues to go from strength to strength. He's definitely one of the better or best Premier League defenders in the division right now. There were some great performances right the way throughout the pitch. It was a fantastic day for Spurs yesterday, and they deserve to relish in the moment. But of course, a lot of people's talk and attention will be drawn towards Manchester United for all the wrong reasons, and not just Manchester United, of course, but for Erik Ten Hag. It has been 3 years now in which, yes, he may look at his trophies and go, well, I've been the second most successful manager behind Pep Guardiola in recent Premier League history. And yes, trophies are nothing to be sniffed at, but he has made no progression in the league. He's gone backwards in his league standings, and not only that as well, but anybody can turn up in cup competitions on the off day and knock out a team. And I think when you look back at some of their cup runs, they've been slightly somewhat fortuitous. And then when they really needed to turn up, they have done. And teams can do that. Teams can definitely do that on the odd game or day here and there, where they just need to turn up, and that's exactly what they do. And that's what we've seen United do over the past few years. When this guy has needed to pull a result out the bag, his team goes on to do that. But what we have seen in terms of consistency is inconsistency. What we have seen in terms of stability is instability. Is an unstable nature. There's just nothing here that says to me that this was the right decision in keeping him on this past summer. I understood why. I could at least understand the reasoning as to why they did keep him on in the summer. Yes, the FA Cup win papered over some cracks. Yes, the opportunity at stability, the opportunity at consistency in the form of a manager staying at the club obviously did resonate with me, and I could understand why they would go about that kind of way. And I understand that obviously maybe the managerial market wasn't exactly flourishing with ready to go top quality talent that may be better than what Erik Ten Hag currently is. But I think with the new takeover, you needed to get everything that was old with the club out and everything that was new with the club in. That includes players, that includes coaches, that includes the backroom staff, the infrastructure of the club, and most importantly, the head coach. I found it a little strange when they kept him on, but I can understand why. But the thing that I found even more strange was the fact that they didn't really keep him on for that long time, the length of time. They renewed his contract for like another year. Now, of course, that contract was to mainly define his job role a little clearer, going from manager to head coach. I understand that. But if you really had that much faith in this guy to turn your fortunes around, and you really wanted to run with this guy as being the mainstay of your club for a long period to come, why did you only give him a year? You couldn't have had that much faith in him, surely. You'd give him another 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Lengthy contracts are seemingly the way of modern football now, whether you're players or managers. So it was obvious to me right from the off that you didn't really have that much faith in this guy, did you? And as it's proven, rightfully so. Now, after yesterday's defeat, Erik Ten Hag is seemingly under the illusion that Manchester United and himself agreed to stay together on this, no matter how badly things have gotten. Well, things are looking pretty poor right now. It's broken today, and Sky are reporting today that Man United continue to back Erik Ten Hag. So, at least for the foreseeable future, it doesn't seem like he's going anywhere. But haven't we seen this before? Haven't we seen the likes of Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Haven't we seen those managers get backed by the club before, only to then lose their job not long afterwards? The international break is coming up. That could be an ideal opportunity for Manchester United to maybe begin their search for a new manager. Maybe he'll have until the next international break in November. There's a lot riding on Man United's season this year. And the longer they keep this guy in charge, the more bad habits are going to settle in. The more players are going to decline. The more standards are going to decline again. And the more time you are wasting, the more players you're wasting, the potential of those players, the promise of those players, the ability of those players, the prime nature of some of those players. This is a very delicate situation right now. And it's something that I, from the outside looking in, have seen no improvement with. A lot of United fans are saying the exact same thing. There is no improvement. They are seeing the same mistakes be made over and over again, to the point where it's not just a player issue, but it's a coaching issue, it's a management issue. There's so many issues at that club, and they all stem with Erik Ten Hag. It would be very Erik Ten Hag and Manchester United-like to pick up a couple of wins between now and the beginning of the international break. And whenever I do make these kinds of videos where I either praise a club or I go in on a club like I am in this one, the opposite tends to happen in the next game. So if I go in hard on a club like I am here, the chances are is that club is probably going to go on and win their next couple of games. And if I praise a club, the chances are is that club's probably going to lose their next couple of games. Case in point, the last international break, I did a video praising Liverpool only for them to lose to Nottingham Forest. And I did one, I think I did one about the same time talking about, I think it was after the North London derby, I talked about how poor Tottenham were and how it's a very delicate situation for Ange Postecoglou. And now they're on a pretty good run of form. So maybe I am the kiss of death on certain things, and maybe I am a bit of a jinx on certain teams and certain ways of doing things. So it wouldn't honestly surprise me if United went on to win. I think they've got like Europa League game this week, and then obviously Premier League game at the weekend. Don't know who their opponents are. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did go on and win those next 2 games. But at the same time, they'll be papering over cracks again. But what I have seen from this United side is a season that began with a lot of hope and a lot of optimism. A lot of excitement. And it's just all come shattering. All come crashing down. It's all shattered. It's broken. It's completely broken. And the main guy who's broke it is this man. It's this man right here. Because I agree with United fans. I want this guy to stay in charge. But I agree with United fans. Like, there is no improvement whatsoever on this team. 600 million has been spent over the past 3 years. Not all by the new regime, admittedly. But even so, they are still his idea of players. And yet, he can't get the best out of them. He can't coach them. And it was just mad to see yesterday just how lost they all looked. How lost each and every single one of those players looked yesterday. They didn't know whether to press. They didn't know how to press, where to press. They didn't know. They couldn't really string more than 3 passes together. They looked terrified every time they got the ball. And then to cap it off, the Bruno Fernandes red card. Now, I will say the Fernandes red card, I can understand why it's a red card, but I could also understand if the referee only gave a yellow card. Because he slips and then he goes to make some sort of challenge afterwards. Now, it's not necessarily reckless from Fernandes, but I can understand why the referee would see it that way. If he does slip and he is off balance and he sticks out a leg, maybe they see it as he's not in control of that leg. I can understand it from both angles, and I can understand why. I don't think they'll get an appeal overturned if, obviously, United did go down that route. So it does seem like they're going to be missing Fernandes for the next 3 games. But that just capped it all off for me. That really, really did. And I'll tell you another thing as well. I know he left the pitch yesterday because of injury. But my fear of Kobbie Mainoo is, I feel like it's slightly being confirmed. I feel like Kobbie Mainoo is declining from being in this environment. I feel like when he burst onto the scene, he was seen as being amazing. And he's still really, really good, don't get me wrong. But I just feel like this season he hasn't quite been as effective and as good. And I do feel like what I said about him last season in terms of him being stuck in this environment where he's not allowed to evolve his game, he's not allowed to flourish, he's not allowed to progress, we'll see him either stagnate or decline. And I do feel like that's a little bit happening with his game right now. And I do worry for him in terms of that. Like I say, I'm happy as a rival fan, as a Liverpool fan, that United are currently in the mud right now. Really am happy, and I really do hope they stick with Ten Hag. But if I am to be open, fair, honest, and neutral, United need to get rid of Ten Hag. United need to get rid of Erik Ten Hag and go and start afresh. Even if that means the interim manager is going to be Ruben Nistelrooy, which we kind of all seem to think that is going to be the contingency plan after Ten Hag, no matter what happens. United need to put the wheels in motion to think about the future. And that is one way to go about it, and that probably should be the way to go about it, because yesterday's performance, the result was shocking and the result was terrible, but the performance yesterday was absolutely abysmal. 2 back-to-back 3-0 defeats in a row at home for Manchester United. It's just shocking. And that's being kind, because if it wasn't for a certain Timo Werner, it could have been more. Spurs could have had 4, 5, 6, 7 goals yesterday. They really, really could have done, but Timo Werner missed a couple of really good opportunities, and yeah, it should have. That's probably my one criticism of Tottenham yesterday. It probably should have been more than just the 3. But yeah, Spurs, fantastic yesterday. United in the mud, and they really do need to think about the future of Erik Ten Hag. I don't care if they made some sort of agreement. You've got to do what's best for the club. And the fans are in complete uproar. And whilst I sit back with my popcorn and I enjoy it, like I say, I'll always try and be honest and open when talking about rivals. So, there you have it. These are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever I call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling about this whole Manchester United and Erik Ten Hag situation. Are you Ten Hag in? Are you Ten Hag out? I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it in regards to this story down below in the comments section. I'm sure it'll make it great and interesting reading. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things always and forever greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. Thank you everybody for your continued and even brand new support. It is very much appreciated and awesome of you. So thank you very much. And I will see and speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.